All right, guys. I know it's been a while. I have not posted any video in a while. I've been extremely busy fixing machines, selling parts, doing all kinds of stuff. And so today I decided I was going to do a new video. I do these videos like 4 times a month or maybe more. So this month I'm thinking maybe I'll do like 10 videos a month or something. I don't know yet, but I'll definitely think about it. Now, before we continue at all, you know what you need to do? You need to hit the subscribe button and you need to hit the like button. What that does to us is it makes us more visible to YouTube. The algorithm likes us better because it means giving value. Uh, by the way, I really have to thank everyone who's been watching this video. As we speak, we have about 290 subscribers. That's quite something, if you think about it. And then we've got about 700 watch hours, close to 700 watch hours already. If you don't know what that means, I need to hit 1,000 subscribers and I need to hit 4,000 watch hours before YouTube starts paying us. So we will need more of your help. Ask a friend to ask a friend to subscribe to our channel. If what we've been doing has been useful to you, then recommend us to someone else. Thank you so much, and let's get started. So today we want to tackle something I've already tackled on the channel, but I feel I didn't really do a lot of justice to it in previous videos because maybe I didn't think about it, or maybe it's just wasn't crossing my mind. But this time around, I decided I was going to do something again about error 16. Because I get it a whole lot, most of the chats I get from WhatsApp, some of them are error 16, and I decided I was going to do another video to cover that particular topic. And this time around, we'll do some demonstrations. What do you do quickly? What are quick fixes before you call an engineer? Now, by the way, these videos are very useful, but they don't mean you shouldn't call an engineer. So if you live in a country where you have people who you can just call on to help you, I think you should call them. But if you don't have anyone, then take these videos and make them work for you. If you feel that you need my help, of course, my WhatsApp line is available. I can always help you online, but I'll charge you $10 for that service. So if you don't have problems with that, well, fine, you can just go ahead and chat me up. If not, you just stay with free videos. Trust me, we'll keep adding more content as time goes on. So now, what is error 16? Well, error 16 has something to do with your printer head, but it's not just the printer head that can give you error 16. A couple of things can give you error 16, but mostly they will be related to your print head. Error 16 majorly has something to do with your printer head, and I'll show you that in a bit. So I'm gonna turn on this machine now. Now this machine is perfectly fine, no errors as we speak. But I'll turn on the machine now, and by the time I do that, I'll take this cap off, and I'll demonstrate error 16 for you, so you know exactly why I say it has something to do with the printer head. All right, so give me a minute to take the printer head off, and I will be right back. Right, so we're back. So we've taken the cap off. You don't have to always do this, but I always like doing it because I can do it. So now, error 16 has something to do with here, here, here. So this is the chip connector that bridges the connection between here and here. By the way, most X600 printer heads will always have this chip. Even the X5 printers have this chip. Because the connection of your printer head to this board is not on board. It means you need like an interface to connect between it. So if you have error 16, what it's telling you is that this board right here is not sensing the printer head. So there are billion and one reasons why that could be. It could be that this cable is bad, but usually not very common. It could be that this chip is bad, also usually not very common. But it could be the printer head is bad, which is extremely common. And then again, it could be that this board is bad, which is not very common. So now the question is, how do I know if it is my printer head that is bad, or it is this board that is bad, or it is the cable? Well, very easy. When you have an error 16 problem, the first thing you need to do is take out this cable and change it with a new cable. Now, in my previous videos, I have showed you the architecture of an XP600 printer head, and I've shown you basically how to connect. So I don't need to say that here in this video. I'll leave a link to that video somewhere on the video right now, on the top right somewhere right now, so you can see it. Now, so if your printer head has an issue, if you see error 16, the first place to check is whether you connected the printer head right. If you did not connect the printer head right, it's going to give you that error 16. I'm going to turn on the printer now, and I'll demonstrate that for you in a bit. Now, if you have your printer installed and you want to quickly know, because some of the first worries are, what if it's my board that has a problem? I think that's basically what I'm to cover today. If it is this board that has a problem, if you take out this chip, which essentially houses your printer head, if you take it out, the machine is still going to give you an error 16. If the machine does not give you error 16 by the time you do that, then you know the printer head is just fine. So we'll just do that right now. So I'll turn on the printer, right? In an ideal situation, if you have your printer head, it's going to have this initialization sequence. I'm pressing that thing down because if the cable for any reason hits this place and leaves, I myself might lose a printer head as we have this video, and I don't want to help you and not help myself at the same time. So now your printer head is going to initialize if all things are equal. Now suppose we do this, however, we turn off the printer, give the machine like a minute to sit, and then you pull it out again, and this time around we'll take out this chip. Now we've taken out this chip, so which means the printer head is currently not connected to this board, right? Now by the time we turn on this machine, if this machine gives you error 16 without the printer head being there, then you know very clearly that your board is bad. So we'll turn it on again. So ideally your machine is going to behave normal, right? As a matter of fact, I'm going to show you that your machine will work perfectly fine, just as if there was a printer head on it, only that there is no printer head on it. So I'm going to do the normal clean nozzle, manual pump, and all of that stuff, and you see that your machine will pump just as normal. I'll cancel it. I'll do clean nozzle. Notice the printer head is still not there. You see that the machine is behaving normally, like normal, as if nothing happened. This is how your machine should behave whether there's a printer head installed or not. So it's going to do this normal clean sequence. Can you see? No print head still. And you see the printer head is not connected. So the printer head is currently not involved. It's cleaning. It's doing the normal clean sequence. Can you see that pouring of ink? But it's not going to pour ink, by the way, because the printer head is not connected, right? Good. So now let's even behave as if we're doing nozzle test. The machine will also go and try to do a nozzle test, right? Only that it's not going to fire anything because the printer head is not connected. Can you see? So once you can do all of this without the printer head installed, then you know your board is perfectly fine. Now what that tells you intuitively is that the sequence of your clean nozzle and manual pump and nozzle test are not conducted essentially by your printer head. They are conducted by this board. That is, the instruction sets, the programming, the program, the flow, everything is connected to this board and not to this. right? And that's why this is the board we program. It's not the printer head we program. The instruction sequence, the methods for changing color, using color, is all hard coded in this board. If you install a color driver, for instance, the color driver is going to be hard coded on this board, not on the printer head. The printer head is only doing that last leg of what the color sequence is supposed to do. So it comes to the printer head because you now need to impress on paper, but all the instruction sets that makes the printer head behave the way it does, it's done by this board. So if this board is fine, and it doesn't mean whether the board is blinking or anything, that's how you know. If the board is fine, it's going to behave normally like your printer head will do, only though you don't have a printer head installed, right? So let me answer that question again. How do I know if my error 16 has nothing to do with the board? Remove the printer head and do your normal clean sequence. In fact, we can even send a print to this machine now, and you will see that it's going to print. So I think we should just do that. We'll send a job to the machine now, and then the machine is going to print like every normal printer, only that it's not going to use the printer head. So I'll pause this video now and I'll move on to that. So now I'm about to send a job to the machine. Right, so I'm doing the normal settings that I would have done for paper, right? Let me press enter. Are we ready? All right, send the job. It doesn't matter, whatever size, right? So now we're about to send a print job to the machine. Don't forget, the printer head is still not installed, right? Good. So check that. All right, send the print. Now can you see, machine is printing. Can you see? So all of these print sequence have nothing to do with your XP600 printer head. Your machine can dance around like this forever, and it's going to dance around till this particular job is done. What's the length of the job you said? That's 2x3 in two places, right? Essentially that's a 3x4. Yeah, it's 3x4. So now it's going to dance around and move. You can see all the stepper motors, everything is working as normal. So you can see that the error 16 has nothing to do with the board. Error 16 only affects sensing the printer head. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. So keep this in mind. Now, by the way, if this has helped you thus far, I need you to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Like I said, it does something to our ranking on YouTube. So again, by this month, we hope to hit 1,000 subscribers. That's our goal for the month. So we really need your help to get this done. So I'm purposely leaving it and letting it go so that you know that the printer head the machine will finish printing that 3x4 before it stops moving. Alright, so I don't want to waste so much time on that, but I just needed to show you that the printer head has nothing to do with the normal sequence of the machine. Now if you're a machine installer, I always recommend that you do all of these tests first before you install your printer head. At least now you can see that you don't have to install the printer head before you run these kinds of tests. All of this is just to make sure that all the connections you did are correct. So I'll pause the print now and I'll just stop it because, like you can see, the machine will behave just as normal. So then I'll turn this off. Alright, we're done. Now, so I'll just insert the printer head back into the machine. Now, however, if for any reason I take out one of these cables, right, and I put this chip back on this printer head, the machine is going to give us error 16, right? So if you have tested this cable and the cable If you have tested this cable and the machine still gives you error 16, remove this entire chip completely and then test the machine whether it's going to behave normally. If the machine behaves normally, then you know your board is fine, your printer head is not fine. Unfortunately, you're going to have to buy a new printer head. So if you want to buy a new printer head, you can also chat me up. I sell printer heads and I ship worldwide. Thanks for having me, and see you next time.